Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Polly. I had fun last night. I still can't believe after 2 years that every day with you feels like the first day I met you.
Wow, Trevor, that's so sweet of you. I had a great time too. It was such a nice romantic meal. It was so thoughtful of you to book the table so far in advance, knowing it was my favorite restaurant in the city.
Anything for you, babe. Valentine's Day is a special one. It's the day we met. So even if it is a commercial holiday, it's still special for us.
Well, thank you for making the day so special, Trevor. I know how much you loathe these kinds of occasions, but you really are an old romantic at heart.
Not that old. I'm only 33.
No, I know you're not that old. It's just an expression.
So I asked you last night, but have you thought any more about what you might want for your birthday?
Oh, my birthday. Of course. That's on the horizon too. Well, I thought we could go and see my family. I haven't seen them in such a long time. I really miss them. And they miss me too.
I know you miss them, but your birthday, that's going to be a problem.
Oh yeah? How come?
Well, if I told you, then it would ruin the surprise, wouldn't it?
Sure, but you know I don't much like surprises, and if I'm being totally honest, the best birthday present I could possibly ask for would be to go and visit my family. I think it's been 6 months since I last saw my parents. We see your family all the time, and even though I love them like they were my own family, well, they're not.
Well, I'm sorry, Polly, but you can't see your family on your birthday.
What?
Yeah, and I'm not going to go into specifics, because that would ruin the surprise, but I've been planning this for a long, long time, and visiting your family just doesn't fit into the planning, I'm afraid.
Trevor, I'm telling you, I really want to see my family on my birthday.
I'm not stopping you from seeing your family, Polly. Heck, you can see them anytime.
No, I really can't. I can't take any more time off work this year. You made me use all my holiday time so we could go to Europe. I can't fly and see my family on a weekend. My birthday is the only time of the year that my work lets me take the day off. And because it's a public holiday the day before, I have 4 days off, including the weekend. So we have enough time to fly out and see my family.
But you've only just mentioned this, Polly. You can't be missing your family that much if this has only just become a thing. I've been asking you what you want to do for your birthday for a long time, and it's only a couple of weeks away now. I can't change what I've been planning. Not now. We're going to enjoy your birthday in New York. We're not going to Canada on such short notice.
But my parents can't come to New York. They can't afford it. And my dad is sick.
Your dad isn't going to die, Polly. He's okay. You can just FaceTime your family on your birthday. You don't need to physically see them.
But you made such a big deal about staying in New York so you could be close to your family. Don't you see that this is a bit one-sided, Trevor? And what's the point of asking me what I want for my birthday if you're just going to turn around and tell me that it's impossible for me to see my family? Which is the only thing that I want for my birthday. I don't care if you've booked us a table at the fanciest restaurant in the city. Cancel it. I want to see my family, period.
Well, it's impossible for me to see your family on your birthday, Polly. I've made plans and I'm not canceling them. And frankly, if you decide to fly out to Canada on your birthday, I won't be coming with you. And you won't be welcome back in our apartment when you return.
Why are you so controlling, Trevor? I haven't seen my family in 6 months. You made me stay with your family over Christmas even though I'd explicitly told you I missed my parents in Canada. And now you're forcing me to stay away from them on my birthday? And giving me this horrible ultimatum if I decide to go against your wishes? You're so spoiled, Trevor. You've always got everything you ever wanted, but what about me? You've never once listened to me, and if you had, you'd realize that I miss my family, and it would mean the world to me if I was able to see them on my birthday.
Fine, see your family, but I'm not coming.
You're such a child, Trevor.
I guess you'll never find out what I had planned for you.
I guess not. Oh, and Trevor?
Yeah?
You're a jerk.
Oh, now who's the childish one?
Goodbye, Trevor. Hey, Polly! Julia? Oh my god, it's been so long since we last spoke. How are you doing? How's life back in Canada? It's great! Well, I mean, it hasn't been the same since you left. 5 long years. And you haven't been back to visit in so long. I know. Life and work are pretty crazy these days. I hear you got a man these days. Trevor? Yeah, Trevor. He's, great. Did I sense a little bit of hesitation there? Yeah, I guess you did. Is everything okay, Polly? Well, not exactly. But it's a long story, and I don't want to bore you with all the details. Well, I was thinking we do have a lot to catch up on. I haven't seen you in person in coming up in 2 years. That's a long time to be away from your best friends, so I was thinking since we both share a birthday and our birthdays are coming up, maybe you'd like to fly home and see me? I would love that, Julia. I've been missing home so much lately. I can't describe to you how homesick I am. Well, that's a great excuse to come back then. It's only a flight away. I saw your folks a few weeks back too. I asked them how you were getting on in New York and they said they hadn't heard from you for a long time too. They sounded a bit worried.
Did they? I don't want them to be worried about me.
We all are a bit. You used to be such a family person, a real home cat. I get that you have a job and a boyfriend in New York, but it's not like you to stay away for this long. I was wondering if maybe you'd fallen out with your parents or something?
No, I'm going to level with you, Julia. It's got nothing to do with how much I love and miss Canada. Frankly, if it was up to me, I'd be with you right now.
It's not up to you?
Well, no, not exactly.
Who is it up to then?
Well, Trevor.
And Trevor doesn't want to fly to Canada? I really want to meet him. It's a bit strange that he doesn't want to meet his partner's best friend and family.
It is strange, but Trevor, he loves New York. His family is here, and he's super close with them. Whenever we both have time off, there's always some family event of his that we have to attend. He'd say that it would look really bad if we didn't go, and if it isn't a family event, he wants me to go on a couple's holiday with 2 of his friends. Or he's booked a trip to Europe for us 6 months in advance without asking me.
But you've told him that you want to go to Canada.
Yeah, all the time, but he always dismisses it. Says I'm spoiled.
You're not acting spoiled if you want to go and visit your family. He sounds like he's controlling your life, Polly.
I'm only just starting to see the extent of his controlling behavior. But I specifically asked him if we could go to Canada for my birthday, and he just said that he'd already planned a surprise for me in New York. And he is refusing to compromise. Even though he knows that what I want most in the world is to visit you and my family in Canada.
So he's forcing you to stay in New York?
Well, he's not forcing me, but he said that if I go to Canada for my birthday, then I'm not welcome back in our shared apartment when I return.
Jesus Christ, what a freak! Why are you with this guy, Polly?
Well, he can be really sweet. He's very in touch with his emotions. And he's not like the other guys I've dated in my life. He's very attentive and caring.
And overbearing and controlling by the sounds of it. Listen, Polly, you can't just stay with a guy because he's in touch with his emotions. Not if he's controlling every aspect of your life. That's cruel and unfair.
So, what do you think I should do? I'm scared to deal with the consequences of going to Canada. I don't know if he'll actually follow through with his threat of breaking up.
Don't let him blackmail you, Polly. If going to see your family is such a crime, then he wasn't worth dating in the first place. It's so important that a partner is willing to compromise and be willing to enjoy a relationship with his in-laws. He can't have it all his way. I think you should come to Canada. Ignore his threats. See your family. And if you really are too scared to come, heck, I'll be on the first flight to New York. And I'll let him know that he can't keep my best friend captive.
You're right, Julia. I know what I need to do now. I'm coming to Canada.
That's my girl. I'll meet you at the airport and drive you back.
You're the best. I'll let you know what flight I catch.
See you soon, Polly.
Hey, Trevor.
Polly?
Listen, Trevor, I don't want to argue anymore.
So you've come around then?
Come around to what?
You're staying in New York for your birthday.
No, I'm not, Trevor.
You're not?
No, I'm going to fly back to Canada and see my family. And my friends. The same family and friends that you've never once bothered to visit or get to know.
Come on, Polly, that's unfair. I've met your parents.
In New York, you made them fly out here to see us. And even then you saw them for 20 minutes and then had to run off because your mom needed your help with something. Once. In 3 years of dating.
I didn't make you move to New York, Polly. I met you here, remember? Just because I don't have the time to jet off to Canada whenever you feel a bit homesick. Don't make out that I'm holding you captive here or anything.
But threatening me with a breakup if I go to visit my family on my birthday isn't forcing me to stay in New York?
I already told you, Polly, I have something very important planned for your birthday. A surprise that has to happen in New York City. I can't change the location.
Why not?
Again, it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you, would it?
I don't want a surprise, Trevor. I want to see my family. And I'm going, with or without you. You can't stop me. I don't care if you break up with me or not. I'm going.
Well then, if you have your heart set on it, I can't stop you.
I want you to come with me.
I can't.
Trevor,
I think the surprise is ruined now, isn't it? If I'm going to Canada, you might as well tell me what it is. I've already booked flights.
You booked flights?
Yeah, my friend Julia called me earlier today, and she said it was very important that I returned home, and that she thought I was being controlled by you.
Controlled?
Yeah, she actually told me that I should leave you.
Jesus, this has gone too far. I didn't want this to happen. Polly, you shouldn't have booked those tickets.
Why not?
Because your parents won't be in Canada when you get there.
Where will they be?
They'll be in New York.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Trevor?
I've paid for them to fly out here as a surprise.
What? You did that to surprise me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you've been telling me how much you miss them lately, and I wanted them to be here for your birthday.
Trevor, I'm speechless. I can't believe you did that.
I've been noticing lately how unhappy you've been here in New York, and I didn't want something like this to break us up. I know you want to go to Canada, and I do too. But there's something else that I've planned here in New York for your birthday, something I want both of our families to be here for.
Trevor, I'm not going to ask you what that is.
And I'm refusing to tell you that surprise. It needs to be special.
Okay, if you insist, but Trevor, I'm so sorry I misjudged you.
And I'm sorry that I've been so controlling. I know you've made some big sacrifices living here in New York.
I know, but it's unfair of me to suggest that you're keeping me here captive. And I know how important it is for you to be close to your family, too.
No, I've messed up. I shouldn't just assume you don't want to visit your family and friends in Canada.
Well, I do have one more request for my birthday.
What is it? Anything. As long as it's in New York.
Well, I want to see my friend Julia. We miss each other. She's always been my bestie all our lives. I feel so guilty I haven't been home to see her in so long. Maybe she can come to the surprise?
Of course she can. Do you want me to reach out to her, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it. It's okay.
Perfect.
Oh, I can't explain how happy I am, Trevor. You've really made my day. Heck, you've made my year.
I promise this time that I won't be running off on an errand for my mom. Your parents will have my complete and undivided attention.
They better. You'll love them, Trevor, and I'm sure they're going to love you too. You and my dad have a lot to talk about.
We sure do. Anyway, I'll see you when I'm home from work, in our apartment.
Okay, Trevor, I love you, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, and I love you, Polly.
Even though I had a good idea of the surprise Trevor had in store for me, I was still brought to tears on the day. He invited my whole family and friends to New York City, and they surprised me right after the biggest surprise of all. Trevor proposed to me at our favorite restaurant, the same restaurant where we went on our first date all those years ago. I said yes.